Oh, trust in God. That sounds like a slogan. Maybe one you've heard before, but do we really do that? Let's go. That's right. Do we really trust in God? It's great for a bumper sticker. Sounds like some great advice. Hey, you know what? You just got to trust God, especially when you kind of don't know the way to go. So all this week, kind of keying off of what we talked about on Sunday from one of the Psalms, we're going to be in another Psalm all week, Psalm 37. I love this one. It just has so many really cool things that you'll see as we move through. So we're going to start down in verse 3. Now, a lot of what you're going to see in Psalm 37 is directed at people who believe in God, and yet they look at people who don't believe and they go, man, but they seem to be doing so well. And, you know, so we're told not to do these things, and then somebody who does them, like, they seem to prosper. And God says, well, you know, it's all about perspective. And, you know, what really matters in life is integrity and character, and how you treat each other, and really what you believe about God. So that matters more than really what your bank account might have in it, or how many friends or followers you have on your social accounts. That really is not the be-all end-all. All right, so we're going to look at Psalm 37. Let's look at verse 3 today. It says this, and this is David, and he says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness." Befriend faithfulness. What an interesting concept. Now, again, trust in the Lord means that you depend on Him. See, it's not just listening. It's not just believing in Him, but really trusting Him, really saying, Lord, when you tell me to do something, even if I'm not sure of how it's going to turn out, maybe I don't have it all figured out, I got to just know that He's got me, right? Because He died for me and He rose for me. Those are the reasons why we trust God. And so we have to kind of front end it with that, like, okay, look at who He is. He's amazing. And these verses kind of hope that we've got that, right? That we really love God and we trust Him, that we know how good He is. We know our sins have been washed away. We have eternity and we have all of that. And so how do we live, right? Man, that's the big question. Well, we trust Him for everything, for all the things that we're going to do from the beginning of our faith to the very end of things as we spend eternity with Him. So the first thing he says is you trust in Him, but you also do good. Like, that's what your life is about. And not good in some sort of generic way, but things that are really going to either glorify God and really be a benefit for others, especially spiritually, especially what counts. And it's not just, and here's the biggest thing I think I want to say about when we talk about doing good, because a lot of people maybe who do good, but maybe for the wrong reason. Maybe it's a photo op. Maybe they want to look good for everybody. So, because it doesn't say look good. It doesn't say seem good. It says actually do good. Like when it's unpopular, when nobody's looking, okay? Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. So in other words, what you want to do is you're making friends with what it means to be faithful. Like you are, it's kind of a weird concept, but like you're in the relationship with it. You're not just saying, hey, that's good, and I know about that. But when using the terminology of friendship and whatnot, like it is your best friend, is being faithful and doing what's right time and time again and time again, so that you become that person who people can trust no matter what. When things are kind of maybe going the other direction and people are ignoring what's right, you're like, no, I'm best friends with that. Like that is who I am and what I am. And so I'm hoping that helps you as we try to navigate what's happening in our world. And I don't believe this is anything new. I really think that we've, since time began and since sin entered the world, man, there's been a mess, but God has been faithful to us throughout it. And so we can just go into life trusting in Him. I'm praying that this helps you to do that. If it does, share this with somebody, not just on that share button, but really like talk about it with your family, talk about it with your kids if you have kids, with your spouse, with a good friend. Just come back and say, you know what does it look like to befriend faithfulness and to trust in God, right? Share, especially share how hard it can be sometimes when everything seems to be going against that, so that you could pray with each other and for each other, and just support each other, because you know you're not in this all by yourself. All right, so hit that subscribe button, share this with somebody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for another follow through.